Hello. I feel very exhausted and confused, and I need to share and get support. I am 6 months pregnant, and I live alone with my parents. My partner and I have a history of breaking up and getting back together, which is extremely emotionally stressful for me. Our last conflict was particularly difficult. He told me that he didn't want me in his life and that he didn't see a future with me. He also said that his feelings weren't the same and that our cohabitation couldn't be the same as before. This makes me feel hurt, confused, and lonely. I'm scared for the future, and I don't know how I'll cope with the baby alone. It all comes from the fact that we don't live together, and I feel alone, and I'm explaining this. I'm in the 6th month, and I'm with my parents. I'm not looking for advice on how to get him back. I want to share my feelings and get emotional support and guidance on how to deal with my anxiety and fear. What will happen from here on out? Will he appear again?
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story. It takes so much courage to be this open about everything you're going through. And what you've described, well, it's a deeply human experience. So let's just take a moment and gently unpack these feelings together and see if we can find a path forward.
Before we go any further, I really want you to take a breath and let this sink in. Everything you're experiencing right now, the exhaustion, the confusion, that deep fear, it is a completely valid and human response to a really, really difficult situation. I promise you are not alone in feeling this way.
So let's talk about where these intense emotions are coming from. Because if we can understand their roots, we can start to see them not as some enemy we have to fight, but more like a messenger that's just trying to tell us something important.
Look, what you're feeling isn't coming out of nowhere. I mean, pregnancy alone is this huge physical and emotional transformation. Then you layer on top of that the constant stress of an unstable relationship and this profound fear that comes from not knowing what's next. It really is the perfect storm for anxiety. And feeling isolated through all of this, well, that just makes everything feel 10 times heavier. These aren't separate things. They're all tangled together, weighing on you all at once. And this is so, so important to understand. Your anxiety and your fear, they are not signs of weakness. Not at all. They are actually a powerful signal. They're a sign of your deep-seated instinct to protect, to prepare, and to care for yourself and for your child. So try to see this as a sign of your own strength, not some kind of flaw.
Okay, so recognizing that strength is the first big step. The next one is learning how to use it. We're going to build what I like to call an emotional toolkit, filled with practical things you can do to manage these feelings and start to reclaim your own sense of stability. Think of these as your immediate first aid tools. So when you feel that wave of anxiety starting to build, the first thing you can do is just focus on your breath. A simple inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, and a longer exhale for 6. That sends a direct signal to your nervous system to just calm down. Next, say your fears out loud to someone you trust. It's amazing how speaking them can instantly lessen their power. And finally, try writing them down. Getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper helps you look at them instead of being lost inside of them. Now, building on those in-the-moment tools, we can start to focus on long-term strength. When your mind starts racing into the future, and it will, just gently pull it back to right here, right now. Asking yourself, what can I control in this moment is an incredibly grounding thing to do. And please remember, self-care isn't a luxury. It's absolutely essential. And finally, reaching out for professional support is a sign of profound self-awareness and strength. It truly is. So now, let's touch on that final heavy question you asked. Will he appear again? It's a question that comes from that deep uncertainty that's causing so much pain. It makes complete sense to ask it. But what if we looked at it from a slightly different angle? Right now, so much of your energy, so much of your worry is directed outward. It's focused on someone else's actions, which at the end of the day, you can't control. And that right there, that's the source of feeling powerless. The real power, the real shift, happens when you turn that focus inward. When you start concentrating on your own actions, your own well-being, your own choices, you move from a place of waiting to a place of acting. You, quite literally, become the main character in your own story again. What you're going through is a recognized psychological process. It's something we call emotional adaptation. It's basically the journey of adjusting to a new reality, one you didn't choose, but one you have to navigate. This isn't about making your feelings just disappear overnight. It's about them becoming more manageable as you build your own support systems and your own inner strength day by day. So we end with this question. And it's not one you need to answer right away. It's something to live into. As you move forward, using your toolkit and focusing on your own path, you're going to find the answer. You've already shown incredible strength just by reaching out for support. The power to create a secure and loving future for you and your child, it really does reside within you.